Hi, this is part 3. So I'm just going to put my character here on the run. There's a couple of things, kind of housekeeping things that I should go through. It's a bit late, so the kids are asleep, so I've got to keep my voice down a bit. So one of the things I was noticing is when I was playing the character, the controls weren't quite right. So you need to essentially get the controls working right with the character, so that the gamepad, when it turns, the character kind of turns properly, as you would expect from a third-person character. This is done in the character pool. So if I just escape this, if you go into the character pool, what I've done is I've put comments on all these things by pressing C. Always a good idea. So first things first, I grabbed this half camera. Now the camera, we want to go down to use pawn controller rotation. So use pawn and make sure that's switched on. Okay. So you're using the pawn to control the camera rotation. Now the next one is if we go up here to running man pawn self, deselect the use controller yaw. So this is on by default. So take that off, because otherwise you're using the controller yaw and it's just weird. Okay. The next one is the character movement down here. And then you've got to tick, make sure it's true, and you have to go down here. Orient rotation to movement. It's a bit far down here. Orient. It's in the character movement rotation settings. Make sure that's switched on. Save, and then you get essentially a very nicely playable character. Nicely playable character. So the right thumbstick looks around, essentially, and the left thumbstick rotates, and it's basically traditional. The old traditional control method that you'll be used to with a third person character. Okay, so that was just a bit of housekeeping there. So make sure it's saved. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start on my jump. So with the jump, I've got my jump start, jump loop and jump end, but I need to go into the animation blueprint, and here you'll see, I think I've explained this already, but basically I've created not a 1D blend space, a 2D blend space. Yeah, it's a 2D blend space. And if you have a 2D blend space, you need both the speed and direction, because when you actually go into the state machine, it basically demands a direction. You need speed and direction in the variables down here. So you need the speed and direction. So go into the state machine. If you go into here, you need speed and direction going into your blend space through your final animation pose. So what I need to do is to go back to the state machine. I need to put some states on for this jump. And to do that, I need to, do you remember when it's like a diamond here? So you start with the idle walk jump, and you test it, you test a variable, and you can call it is in the air, or is in air, or is the character flying, or whatever you want. And it plays the animations around here. So you're going to place a new node, and you're going to add a state, and in this state you're going to put jump start, and we're going to test is in the air there. So the jump start, if we go into the jump start first of all, and this is where I can put my jump start and connect it up. Then if we go back here, I can create a new variable, and that new variable is going to be called, not new variable, is in I think if you look at a lot of tutorials, they're all basically the same. They always have the same variable, is in the air. If that's true, you can enter the translation. Second copy. So let's say, is it in the air? And it is in the air, so it can enter the transition. And essentially what happens is we're going to connect the bottom face button on the controller, which is the A on the Xbox controller that I'm using. We can connect that A up so that when you press it, is in the air is true. And then when is in the air is true, it can enter the transition. So it plays the jump start. Isn't that good? So I'm going to place another node here, another state. This is jump loop. Now, what we need to do here is set the transition. Well, is the first animation finished playing? So in here, you see ratio. So time remaining, running man jump start the previous animation. I thought it was really clever of Unreal actually putting that in. The time remaining, and it just goes, oh, you're going to be using this. And you go, yeah, how do you know? Then this is just put the less than symbol. And I'm going to put it 0.2. See how that comes out. And if it is, it can enter the transition. The state machine. But the next bit, I'm going to add a state, and this is the jump end. Oh, did I put the? I didn't put the jump end in. Don't need to do that. Jump loop, and as I said before, I really need to work on that loop. Actually, it's shocking. It's really, really shocking. And the jump end, I like the jump end, it's just the loop needs to be worked out. So go back to the state machine, and is it still in the air? And it's a boolean, so it's a boolean, so I put get is in the air, and then it's a not boolean. If it's not, it can jump out. So I'm coming back here. Yeah. And with this, the same as before, is ratio. Oh, Horatio. Yeah. can't believe one of the other groups has sampled my voice, me laughing from some feedback that I gave them, and they've used that for one of their monster creatures. Brilliant. I love you guys. One of their monster creatures. So it's less than. So again, I'm going to put 1.2. That up. Cool. So that's my thing. That's my debrief. So there we go. So it comes in. So you're doing this idle walk sprint, which you've seen. Then, is it in the air? Yes. Go into the jump start. Place the jump start. Is it finished playing the animation? Well, is it finished the first 80% of the animation? Yes. Go to the jump loop. Is it still in the air? No. Play. Oh, no, no. Play the jump end. Is the jump end finished playing? Yes. Go back to idle walk sprint. Right. That's cool. So that's fine. So I'm going to save that. And we'll do the next bit of pressing the button. When the button's pressed, then we go into it. So the next part of this is we've got this is in air. We've got to see whether the character is in the air. And we do this. There's a function called is falling, which is part of the get Paul 9. So we've basically just got to put that in our anim graph, in our event graphs of the anim. So here it is at the moment. Look at that. It's quite complicated. So we've got lots of these get pawn owners. And you find that getting these get pawn owners is quite a few of them. So I'm just going to get another one. Try get pawn owner. And then from that, get movement component. So get movement component. Now from that movement component, we can test to see whether it's falling. Is falling. Oop. Is falling. There we go. So that will test whether it's falling. And from that, we can set is in air. Actually, we can set is in air. So that will tell Unreal whether the character is in the air. Okay, that's the next bit. So I'm actually going to go and comment all this. So that is in the air set. This is setting speed and direction. A certain bit of Unreal that I really like, which is it's like the C, because I did a bit of C programming, C++ a few years ago, and I really like some bits of it, and this kind of appeals to me liking certain bits of it. It's really good. It's really kind of cathartic, makes you think about things. It's the reason why I do Sudoku. You know, it kind of makes you think a little bit. Right, so there's just two things to do now, and then we're finished. So first of all is the axis mapping. Go check the axis mapping. So, did I just close Unreal? No, I didn't. Thank God for that. I thought I closed Unreal. It was sitting over there. So first thing I've got to do is go to settings, project settings, and then I go input and just check what input. Have I got any action mappings? Yeah, I've got a jump. I've got a jump, and it's the bottom face button, which I was going to have anyway. Yay! So that's fine. So the next thing is on the character pawn. We have a new. So we've got an input. It's really simple, this one. So the input is jump. Input. It's a. Where has it gone? It's an action. There we go. You got three things: pressed, and then you've got jump. Okay. Target as a character. Let's jump. There we go. So let's see if it works. I'm not going to try this. I'm just going to try it. Here we go. So no, it doesn't work. Oh, I always do that. It's not playing the right animation. It's playing a run animation. But he's jumping. Can't say he's not jumping. But he's playing the wrong animation. I've probably put the wrong animation in. So go into the blueprints. It's an easy way to find out. Into the state machine. Jump start. Jump start. Why is it playing the run animation? It's not playing Running Man jump start. So the is in air isn't working. It's the is in air isn't working. And the reason why I think that is it's because it's not actually getting here. And the is in air is the main thing, isn't it? It's the main variable that's stopping it getting in. It's the key to the door. And if it's not getting in there, it's still using that function jump, but the is in air isn't working. That's why it's doing it. Just going to have a search around for a bit and I'll tell you what I find out. Right, it took me a few moments, but as I said, I kind of knew it was the is in air. It's always going to be the variables, whether the variables are set or not set or whatever. So I tracked it down to the animation graph because it was jumping, so it's not going to be on the character pawn. So if you look at the animation, and it's not in the state machine because the state machine is doing its job. So in the event graph of the animation editor, it's not setting that is in air. And what it was basically I've got this event update blueprint here, get pawn owner, and it's cast to the running man pawn, and basically this is the animation graph, blueprint for getting the speed and direction of the state machine for a 2D state machine. And what it was is it's not going through, even though I've got to try and get pawn owner, it's not actually connected to the event update. It's not this event blueprint update animation. This is every tick. So it's not getting into the tick. So I had the sequence node here, and the sequence node goes set the speed, set the direction, and it wasn't linked into there. So I just added another pin and put it in there, and it works. Okay, so save it, and it works. But when it works, you can see the problem is it's taking too long. So the animations in there are all out of sequence. So he's doing three things at once. So that the time, we're going to play around with the time in the state machine. So one plays after the other better. The timing of the actual animation isn't right, even though it's an okay animation. The three animations aren't playing very well together. It's taken too long to wind up to actually do the jump. It's taken too long. He's not spending any time in the air. So if you take him up here, he's not spending any time in the air, and he's not coming to the ground fast enough, so he's got that tick. So that just needs playing with. I think he's actually playing the wrong animation when he's coming down. So he should be playing the loop then. So there's something wrong with the transitions. But it's 22 minutes long, this video. It's alright, it's getting there. I can see where things are, and hopefully it'll give you an insight into a bit of bug hunting. If you have to hunt bugs, you're doing this. It's late again. I'm tired again. But this is the fun bit. Once you get to this bit, it's like, right, I can go back into Maya and I can grab some animations, redo those animations, redo that jump animation. So it's got less of a wind up. And play around with that state machine bit. But he does, you know, it's okay. And then you can work on an inventory system for picking up pikes and hitting people on computers and tapping away. And you can kind of see a game coming together, which is the purpose of the module. It's the purpose of what you're doing. And I don't want you all to become animators. I don't want you, because there'll be just too many. I don't want you all to throw animation away though and get an appreciation of what everybody in this pipeline does. And this will become, I guarantee you'll be watching these videos again when it comes to game development module. Anyway, hope you all had fun. I will correct these because it's fun. This is what I like. This is what I like doing. This kind of stuff. Right then, I shall leave you with that and say thank you very much. Look, guys, I know I'm leaving, and this is on YouTube, but I know I'm leaving, but you are a fantastic bunch of people. I think you're absolutely brilliant, each and every one of you. You've made my final semesters at Derby absolutely, hand on heart, some of the best times I've had working. And you know, I could well up because you're wonderful. Have a great time out there. Use these skills and just revel in the fact that you know them and you love them, and keep in touch, contact me on LinkedIn, and be careful. Have a great time. I'm gonna cry.